Hello, everybody. Nice having you here. Welcome to our training for thesis on Compact of Mayor Compliance. My name is Cesar Carreño. I am Junior Project Officer for Low Carbon City Agenda at ICLEI World Secretariat in Bonn. I will like to introduce Mrs. Luisa Vaz. She will be making a small introduction on how you can manage and work with the WebEx software.
Hello, thank you very much, Cesar. Yes, also from my side, a warm welcome to this webinar. Nice having you with us today. Yes, just giving you a short technical introduction. So for the duration of the presentation given by my colleague, you will be muted. You can, however, type questions that come up into the question box that you see in front of you. And later on, after the presentation, we will have a question and answer session. We will then get back to your questions, and if we feel like this would be necessary, we will also unmute you and are happy to engage in a discussion with you. If you have technical problems or any other questions, please also feel free to type them in the questions box. I will be very happy to assist you. I hope you enjoy this webinar with us.
Thank you very much, Luisa. Well, we're so happy to have you here. This is a really interesting and important webinar for you to understand what is the complete process regarding the full compliance for the Compact of Mayors. We will start providing details regarding what is the Compact of Mayors. What do you need to do to become Compact compliant? What is the process that is required for the full compliance for the Compact of Mayors? How can you report to support your statements? And as well, we will provide the whole idea for several resources that the cities can use to become full compliant. No? Of course, later on, you can please keep in mind your questions so we can answer them at the end of this webinar, which I hope will be very useful for you. No? So the Compact of Mayors is an initiative which links the major global city networks, no, to consolidate existing and voluntary city climate commitments. No? This means to compile and to collect and to encourage cities and local governments to start to develop much more robust action plans and to make much more consolidated statements on their activities against climate change. No? It was launched in September in the Climate Summit 2014 in New York. And we can see here that it's the major global coalition of mayors and city officials. They have to develop and to commit to certain points, key performance indicators, no? For instance, to reduce local greenhouse gas emissions, to enhance resilience to climate change, and to track their progress publicly. No? This means that they will need to make the information available to the public. No? Of course, later on, we will explain how. The compact cities need to address the impacts of climate change. These include to define targets of reduction of emissions at community level, and of course to identify climate hazards. No? And all of this needs to be compiled and sustained, supported by documentation, no? And as well as share on the officially recognized platforms that belong to that are partners for the Compact of Mayors initiative. No? The whole idea is to encourage the cities to report their emissions using a new standard that is consistent with the requirements used for international climate negotiations that will lead to a global climate treaty in 2015. The Compact of Mayors aims to enable recognition at city-level commitments, no? To establish a transparent and standardized measurement and reporting processes for local climate actions, to support evidence-based local mitigation and adaptation actions. Now, this includes, of course, the inclusion of activities, any type of activities in any scope that will lead to the reduction of CO2 equivalent emissions in the community level. Also aims to demonstrate the positive contribution of the local governments towards more ambitious, transparent, and credible national climate targets. This means to enhance vertical integration, no? To provide a platform to show that the local governments can have positive influence within the national goal, no? And of course, there are key players and drivers to enhance and to develop much more committed and much more ambitious goals at national level. And of course, to encourage national governments to actively support additional city action. This means as well vertical integration, no? But that needs to come with the support of the national government, no? Why should cities commit to the Compact of Mayors? Of course, all of them have different reasons to commit, but there is the holistic idea, no? To demonstrate the leadership on climate change by communicating, or to provide a platform to communicate this to the citizens, the media, their country, and of course other non-state actors. To gain public recognition and credibility for their commitments to take action on climate change, to join cities around the world that are making a bold statement on climate change commitment prior to the development of a global climate treaty in Paris in December 2015. What does this mean? That the Compact of Mayors will provide a platform that can bring together mega cities, mid-sized cities, and small cities as well. No? All of them will be seen with in the same approach, no? Because all of them are working towards a global impact, no? All of them will be recognized in exactly the same way. Of course, this allows the cities to position themselves to take advantage of technical assistance and financial support that may be available to cities that intend to become compliant with the Compact of Mayors. This means that when you sign or when you send, or when you are a part of the Compact of Mayors, this will show your intention to move towards a more sustainable development, no? And of course, it will bring the attention of sources of financing that could support local projects at local government level, no? Regarding the governance of the Compact of Mayors, we have the three major global city networks, C40, ICLEI, Local Governments for Sustainability, and UCLG, United Cities and Local Governments. These three city networks have worked with their members, and we are currently working with all of them, encouraging them to become a part of the Compact of Mayors and to achieve their targets and to develop more commitments. No? Of course, in close collaboration with Michael Bloomberg Philanthropies, which is the UN Secretariat's Special Envoy for Cities and Climate Change, UN Habitat, and the United Nations Secretary General's Office. Now, regarding Compact compliance, the Compact of Mayors has been designed to encourage cities and towns of all sizes, like I mentioned before, in the global north and south to follow a logical progression towards full compliance over a 3-year period. This 3-year period will be taken by phases or stages. No? Of course, there could be the best case scenario that where most of the cities are one step closer to become full compliant in less than a year, but that's why we provide support and assessment to guide them and to let them know, yes, you are one step closer, or you need to develop a 3-year plan. No? The compliance requirements have been defined for climate change mitigation and adaptation, And of course, all of the cities will be formally recognized at each stage of compliance. Now we have developed a strategy to recognize the activities of the city, for them to let them be available to display publicly their commitment. Of course, we have the 3 years phase. We have the first stage, which is attachment, when you submit your commitment to become compliant with the Compact of Mayors. Then within 1 year, measurement. I will explain later on this on detail. Within 2 years, target, and within 3 years, the action plan. When you start participating, of course, you need to take into account that you will need to comply with the requirements of the Compact of Mayors. What does this include? This includes mitigation. You need to commit to reduce greenhouse gases emissions. You need to commit to measure your emissions using a robust standard consistent with national inventories, in this case the GPC, which I will explain later on. You need to set appropriate targets for the future, and you need to develop an appropriate robust action plan to deliver your targets. This on the mitigation sector. For adaptation, you need to commit to address the impacts of climate change, to identify climate hazards, to assess the vulnerabilities of the city, and to develop climate adaptation plans. Of course, all of these have embedded certain projects and strategies and actions that are specific for each city, because each city has different hazards, each city has different challenges. The first stage at engagement, which is a quite easy process to develop, you need to commit first. What do you need to do? At this stage, cities are required to publicly state their commitment to the Compact of Mayors initiative. You need to commit to reduce GHG emissions and address climate risks, and of course to comply with all of the requirements of the Compact of Mayors. This can be carried out by posting a commitment on a website and informing one of the city networks or the Compact of Mayors Secretariat. If you already belong to one of the city networks, you can just send an email to one of the official emails that I will provide later on and inform, okay, we are officially committing to the Compact of Mayors. We are releasing an official statement. We would like to inform you for you to take note into this and to develop our city profile. You can declare the commitment at a press conference as well. Of course, you need to inform one of the city networks or the Compact of Mayors Secretariat. You need to write a letter to any of the city networks to confirm this commitment and submit it again to one of the city networks or directly to the Compact of Mayors Secretariat. You need to indicate this commitment via one of the designated reporting platforms. I will show you later on which are the platforms that are available for your reporting and communication of your documentation. All of the cities that have made this commitment by the end of September 2015 will be mentioned in an official announcement at COP21 in Paris in December 2015. Of course, what we recommend is for you to see to which network do you belong to, and ideally is to submit your commitment through the network you belong to. A small flow chart here to have a visual image on how to become committed. In this case, an example with the letter of commitment. We have the city here, and the city needs to deliver a letter of commitment indicating that they want to be part of the Compact of Mayors and they are willing to comply with all of the requirements of the initiative. Of course, the city can be submitted directly to the Compact of Mayors Secretariat to the email info@compactofmayors.org, or can be submitted to one of the city networks, in this case C40 or ICLEI. ICLEI has regional offices that are there for your support in case you belong to one of these particular regions. On following slides, I will show you which regional office do we account for. Also, you can make a public statement And of course, if you are already reporting one of the two officially recognized reporting platforms for the Compact of Mayors, you can also directly there say, I want to be part of the Compact of Mayors. In this case, the two recognized platforms is the Central Repository, which is Carbon Climate Registry. And we have the official email where you can submit your letter of commitment, or you can ask questions to us, carbonn@iclei.org, or if you are already reporting on CDP, you need to let them know that you want to be part of the Compact of Mayors. Both of these platforms have already made arrangements for an easier way for you to communicate your intention to become committed to the Compact of Mayors. So it won't take a lot of your time for the first stage, which is the commitment. Now, let's see. I was mentioning the letter of commitment. No, some of you may have a good idea on how to develop a letter of commitment. Some of you which don't have an idea, there is an available template on the website of the Compact of Mayors, www.compactofmayors.org. /resource/tools for cities. Here you can see the resources for phase 1 on the commitment. There is a template for the letter of commitment. Of course, you can edit this template as much as you want, but the letter of commitment needs to come directly from the mayor's office or from one of the authorized offices within the local government. No? This could include the direction of environment or sustainability or energy, etc., etc. No? But needs to be authorized by the mayor's office for us to have direct communication with them and to let them know and support them in further steps. Now, if you are one of the city that wants to submit your letter of commitment, ICLEI has several regional offices that deal with particular regions in the world. No? As you can see here, we have the Mexico and Central American Secretariat, which is established in Mexico City. In the US, we have the US office in Oakland and the Canada office in Toronto. The World Secretariat here in Bonn, Germany. The European Secretariat in Freiburg. The Brussels office. The African Secretariat, South India Office, Indonesia, Oceania, the KCC Capacity Center, the East Asian Secretariat, the Japan Office, Korea Office, South Asia Secretariat. Of course, all of them have their own email for you to submit your letter of commitment. They will be quickly let us know which city committed, and we'll submit the letter directly to the World Secretariat, and we will communicate this to the steering committee for the Compact of Mayors to let them know that your city have committed to the Compact of Mayors, and we will create a city profile on the Compact of Mayors website. Now, one of the most important steps after commit to the Compact of Mayors is that you need to report on one of the two recognized platforms. One of them is Carbonn, and the other one is CDP, like I mentioned before. The process in Carbonn registration is very easy. There are some fields that you need to fill in. There are not so many of them. It's around 9. It's a really easy process. It won't take a lot out of you. As you can see here, you go to www.carbonn.org and you click here and join, and you will have this information here. The name of your organization, you choose your country, and of course the designated contact point to the Carbon Cities Climate Registry. No? You need to agree to our terms and conditions, and you need to agree that your GHG emissions inventory will be publicly available through the carbon reporting systems, and of course you need to start to report within the next 8 months of the online registration. This is for a normal procedure. If it's for Compact of Mayors, our suggestion is you need to start to report immediately to give us time to go through the documentation and to let you know what is the current status of your city. No? What do you need to do? What do you need to submit? How can we help you? Among other things. No? Once you have registered as a city on the Carbonn platform, you will have, of course, to fill the general information. This includes the name of the reporting entity, name of the official name of the reporting entity, no? Name of the geographic area administered by the reporting entity, country, to select the category of the reporting entity. We have 7 categories here that you can select. The latitude and the longitude, the government logo, of course, for us to be displayed along the city profile, and a general description of the reporting entity, among other key data that you will need to submit to have a complete and strong profile in Carbonn. No? Of course, all of this information will be shared directly with the Compact of Mayors website, and all of the information that you submit here, well, not all of it, but most of it, will be visible as well in the Compact of Mayors website. That's why it's important for us to have complete information and updated information from your site. If you started to fill up the data on Carbonn, if you scroll down, you will see that then we have campaigns here and compacts. No, here you have a box that you can tick if you want to indicate that you want to comply with the Compact of Mayors. No, you just tick the box here. You set the date, of course, and you can upload the letter of commitment. No, in this this way, the letter of commitment will come directly through us to us through the platform, and you can do both things at the same time. You are already registered and you are already committed. No, so this is how to ease the process for you. No. Let's assume you already created your profile in Carbonn. No? Now we will have to go on and fill the rest of the information. The information is very necessary for us to assess the current status of your city. No? For instance, we need a status of commitment of the climate change adaptation, and of course we need a supporting document. The status of the climate change adaptation plans with a supporting document as well. Status of climate change vulnerability assessment with the supporting document as well. It might be the case that your city compiles all of these 3 fields on a single document, but this needs to be explained. No, you need to let us know. Okay, within this document we include these 3 fields. No, of course we have other type of information that you can fill in to give you a clearer view what's the current state of the action plan of your city. For instance, the climate hazard information. Here we have currently experienced, anticipated in the future, and of course present significant physical risk. Regarding the commitments, of course, you will need to let us know what is the commitment that you want to do. If you are already reporting on Carbonn, you can make commitments to increase energy efficiency, to increase the share of renewable energy, etc., etc. No, but for the Compact of Mayors, you need to have a specific commitment, which is the reduction of greenhouse gases emissions at community level. This is very important for you to know. No? We need to have GHG emission reductions at community level. No? And of course, you need to define the target. No? Which type of reduction you're going to do. Absolute base year, business as usual. No? But it needs to be at community level. In this case, you need to define your base year or your baseline, like it is known in the technical context. You need to define your baseline, which is the one you are going to contrast against your reduction when you update the process. No, what does this mean? That you will need to deliver a GHG inventory within the first year of becoming committed to the Compact of Mayors to let us know how the process is going as well. No. Now, once you have defined your baseline, you need to define your target year. In which year you intend to reach these objectives of reduction of CO2 equivalent or CO2 emissions against the X base year that you have defined. No? Of course, it is important to set targets here which are from 2020, because it's not really measurable, or we cannot identify or to see how big is the impact if you did a commitment, for instance, for 2015, which is pretty much already over. No? So you need to have a clear target year which needs to go further than 2015, 2016. Regarding performance, of course, although this information it's important for us, we need to know how it's improving, no? And you need to let us know how is your performance improving at community level. In this case, it's a screenshot for government, but for Compact of Mayors, everything is at community level, no? And of course, actions. In actions, you can report all of the projects that you have been developed one by one with detailed information, and to let us know what is the type of projects that your community focus on. No? I will show you some examples on the city profile. Here we can see the type of actions that you can divide into mitigation and also adaptation actions. Here you can inform us and let us know, okay, we are doing this type of project, and the sector, and the funding source, etc., etc. And all of this needs to be supported by a link or a document where we can see how the project is going. No? Now, for reporting, like I mentioned before, cities can report and cities must report the data required by the Compact of Mayors through the two recognized platforms. One of them is CDP Cities, and the other one is the Carbon Climate Registry, which is managed by ICLEI. You need to provide the report or your data until the 30th of September 2015 for us to include your city information and commitments within the aggregated data report for the COP21 in Paris, no, in December this year. No? Why until the 30th of December? Because this will give us a 2 months window for us to verify your data and to assess you if you need to update or to upscale something, if you are missing some information, etc., etc. No? Now, regarding the data aggregation, the reported data will be centrally collated and aggregated in the Carbon Climate Registry module for the Compact of Mayors. Of course, once again, the Carbon Climate Registry is managed by ICLEI. Regarding alignment, the Compact of Mayors team is discussing opportunities of alignment with the Covenant of Mayors and other initiatives as well. No? So this will give you a big exposure if you want to promote your city's activities. No? Now, once you are committed to the Compact of Mayors, you are going to receive a multimedia kit. What is a multimedia kit? Of course, you will receive a seal of commitment that I will show you later on, that you are it will be available for you to be displayed at your city's website to show that you are already part of the Compact of Mayors. No? And within other documents, you will receive some Word files. This will include key messages for social media. This includes for Twitter. No? For example, this one: today I committed to the Compact of Mayors and take action on local level to fight climate change. And of course for Facebook. No? These are suggestions that we will send to you for you to communicate on the profile your city has on social media. You will have a press release template, which is a Word document that will help you to develop an official communication, an official statement for the press, and of course any other type of official statement for any other source of communication, any other stream of communication that you may have. No? So, at this stage, you will receive the Compact of Mayors committed seal on SVG format. The SVG format will allow you to display this seal of commitment in your city's website, no? So everybody that goes to your city website know that you are committed to the Compact of Mayors and that you intend to take the necessary measures to fight against climate change within a 3 years period. And of course, you will receive a badge. This badge will highlight your commitment to reduce greenhouse gases emissions at community level, no? Once you get this badge and this seal and this badge, both of them there will be available at your city profile on the Compact of Mayors website, and of course on the Carbonn as well. Now, you already registered, you already started reporting, no? Now, within the first year of becoming officially committed to the Compact of Mayors, your city needs to develop and publicly report a GHG inventory that meets GPC criteria or requirements. No? What's the GPC? Is the Global Protocol for Community Level GHG Inventory. No? And of course, this has particular requirements, no, that makes it a robust standard that allows both sectors from the public and scientific communities to have a clear view of your sources of emission. No? You need to identify and publicly report climate hazards. And for inventories, for the first year, this is very important for you to understand and to know, for the first year, cities only need to report a CO2, not CO2 equivalent, only CO2. This is allowed for the first year of being part of the Compact of Mayors. And you need to report the two sectors, stationary energy and in-boundary travel. So this is a resource or a way to ease the path for the city if you want to report immediately. No? Of course, for hazards, there is a framework that has been developed and integrated in the reporting platforms, like I showed you before, where you can identify which type of climate hazards you have, which are currently happening, what you expect to occur, and how much is the physical influence of these hazards. Cities can comply at this stage by submitting the required information to a recognized reporting platform, in this case, Carbon Climate Registry or CDP, and the cities will be formally recognized for their achievement, meaning this, you submit your GHG inventory, which is GPC compliant, and you, in exchange, you will receive another batch for inventory that I will show you later on. Of course, some cities have the resources and they have the technical background for them to develop their own GHG inventory, but ICLEI can also offer support. Some cities will have the option to receive technical assessment. No? This includes helping to develop a GPC-aligned GHG inventory, or if you already have a GHG inventory, we will help you to identify which are the key points that you need to upgrade to bring this GHG inventory to GPC requirement. No? As well, there is a web tool available for you that was released this week on the United States, and within the next few weeks will be released at global level. No, this is ClearPath, which is a web-based tool that will help you to develop your GHG inventory and make it GPC compliant. No? It is important for you to understand that the Compact of Mayors can take any GHG inventory up to 2011. That means if you're going to be part of the Compact of Mayors today, you can report 4 years previous to your commitment. This means anything, if you are committed to the Compact of Mayors in 2015, your deadline or your limit of years to report is 2011. That means you can report 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. No anything before 2011 will not be accepted. No, so you need to count 4 years. If you become compact committed in 2016, your first year to be reported should be 2012. So that's how it will work. No, what's the point of this? To have the most recent and accurate data. No, if you go further those years, the data will be more hard to get. No, more recent data is easier to get, to achieve, to be compiled, to be interpreted. So that's why we have this clear requirement for the cities which are part of the Compact of Mayors. Let's take a quick look of the online GHG inventory tool, ClearPath, which is an ICLEI USA tool. Here do we have, of course, access to identify the sources and to fill all of the fields that you need to complete here with the data that you have compiled for your city. At the end, if you follow all of the steps properly, you will have a fully GPC compliant inventory. Now, once you have achieved this, of course, the regional office of ICLEI will do a desk review, and we will support them if necessary, and we'll let you know that if your inventory is full GPC compliant. No? Once you have achieved this, you will receive a badge. No? This is the GPC standard, the Global Protocol for Community Scale Greenhouse Gas Emissions Inventory, which will help the cities to measure their emissions, to build more effective emission reduction strategies, set measurable and more ambitious emissions reduction goals, and to track their progress more accurately and comprehensively. So we are using this standard. The idea is to use a robust standard that will let the cities to clearly identify the sources of emissions so they can tackle the problem much more efficiently. No? We have some GPC current uses from Pilot City and, of course, another versions of the GPC. You can see it's spreading all over the world. So it's a pretty well recognized standard that will be available for you in conjunction with ClearPath. No? Now, like I mentioned before, you committed to the Compact of Mayors. Now you have the seal of commitment. You are already committed to reduce GHG emissions within the boundaries of your city, and you already delivered a full GPC compliant GHG inventory up to 2011. Now you will get this badge inventory. This means that at this stage, within 1 year, you will have 1 seal and 2 badges. Of course, all of these, you are entitled to display them on your city profile and to communicate it through the media, social media. No? Let's see what happens within 2 years. Within 2 years of becoming committed to the Compact of Mayors, you will need to define a target. What is this target? This target needs to be expressed in reduction of GHG emissions, a percentage of reduction of GHG emissions at community level. You need to let us know what is the percentage of reduction of emissions that your city wants to or can achieve within certain period of time. No? And of course, you need to define a baseline. Of course, the baseline is not linked to the inventory. No? That means that your baseline can be 2009, 2010, 2008. No, the requirement of the 4 years previous to the year of commitment is only for the new inventory that you will need to develop. No. So at this stage, cities are required to publicly report additional information on the GPC inventory. That means the inventory that you already submitted, of course. You will need to include activity data and emission factors. You will need to set and publicly report a GHG emissions reduction target, like I mentioned before, expressed in percentage of GHG emissions reduction at community level. You need to assess and publicly report your climate vulnerabilities. This means that within 2 years, you will need to identify what are the climate vulnerabilities of your city. Cities can comply at this stage, of course, submitting all of the information, of the required information, on a reporting platform. This means Carbon Climate Registry or CDP. The target, like I mentioned before, the community target CO2 or CO2 equivalent emissions reduction for any date means define a baseline and a proper target year. No? Of course, expressed in percentage against a defined baseline. You need to make the statement in the reporting platform. This means if your city is going to reduce 20% of GHG emissions reduction against a baseline of 2010, this needs to be published in the platform where you are reporting. No? Of course, this will be expressed in your city profile. Let me put an example here. This is expressed here in your city profile, where you can see your CO2 emission reduction target and your CO2 reduction target at community level. No? And here we can track down how the process is going as soon as you provide us with the full GPC compliant GHG inventory. No? You need to state this on your city profile on the platform that you choose to report. No? Of course, this will also be expressed or displayed on the Compact of Mayors city profile on their website. No? And you have to have harmonized action plans numbers, meaning this: if your action plan includes the baseline and the target year, these numbers needs to be the same published on the reporting platform. No? Why is this? To harmonize documentation with statements. No? It could happen that there was a mistake and somebody put a different number on your action plan, on your updated action plan, but the number is not the same as the number which is displayed in your city profile. No? So there's need to be harmonization on the documentation that you provide and the statement you make on the reporting platform. No? So whatever the user of the platform looks, they look at exactly the same number. No? This is to avoid confusion. No? Now, once you have defined your target, of course, you will get a recognition for it. At this point, you will have a seal of commitment from the Compact of Mayors, your commitment badge, your inventory badge, and your target badge. Let's see what happens at the third year. Within 3 years, cities are required to publicly report additional information on their GPC inventory. This means at this point you will need to upscale your GHG inventory to CO2 equivalent emissions. This includes all of the 7 gases included on the protocol, most likely the 3 first, no? CO2, CH4, and N2O. No? To develop and publicly report the Climate Mitigation Action Plan, to develop and publicly report their adaptation plan. This includes a lot of documentation. This includes a lot of documentation that needs to be provided and submitted to the platform. No? This will allow us to check the high quality of your documentation and to see if it's harmonized with what you are already reporting on the platform. No? At this point, your inventory needs to take a look on the main sources of emission, and of course the sources of emission have been diversified here. No? And on this first year you only had stationary energy and in-boundary transport, but now you need to expand that to diversify your sources of emission. No? This will include waste management or transport out-boundary, etc., etc. No? For your climate mitigation action plan and for your action plan, of course, you can include all of this information in one single document, but you need to clarify or to specify each section of the document on which topic are is the document addressing. No? Now, at this point, you will get all of the badges. No? You will get the Compact of Mayors committed seal, you will get the badge for commitment, you will get the badge for inventory, you will get the badge for target, and you will get the badge for plan. If you have already complied with all of these 4 stages, you will get the final badge, which is the Compact of Mayors compliant. This Compact of Mayors compliant seal will recognize that you have taken all of the steps that the Compact of Mayors required, no? And within this way, the Compact of Mayors have worked as an accelerator for your community to help you to achieve goals to fight against climate change. No? And of course, your city will be recognized, will be presented in the Compact of Mayors website, will be presented as a best case study in different meetings or summits that the Compact of Mayors will have, and of course you can publicly display these seals to show that you have fully complied with the requirements of the Compact of Mayors. Here we have an overview of the 3 years. Well, you can see we have split here in mitigation and adaptation. Like I mentioned before, at engagement, you just need to commit to reduce your GHG emissions, and you need to commit to address climate change risks. Within 1 year, you need to present a GPC-aligned inventory of GHG emissions only with CO2, and you need to define, to identify 2 sectors. These are the stationary energy and in-boundary travel. You need to report your hazards on within 1 year as well. No? Within 2 years, you need to add data to your inventory. This means activity data and emission factors. And you need to define your GHG reduction targets. This means 3 particular numbers: the baseline year, with, of course, the inventory of that year, and of course the target year and the percentage of reduction. And on your hazards reporting, now you need to add the vulnerability assessment. And now we move to the 3rd year. Within the 3rd year, the GPC inventory expands and diversifies. You need to include at least the 3 main gases. You need to identify the 3 sectors. You need to include the data, and you need to include the emission factors. You will have been already defined your GHG reduction targets, and of course now you need to develop a climate action plan. No? Now, regarding adaptation, within the 3rd year, you need to have your hazards report, you need to have your vulnerability assessment, and you need to have an adaptation plan. How does the validation proceed? The process is very easy. I have here developed a flow chart for you to understand in a visual, more appealing way. Of course, once the city commit, you get these 2 badges, the seal of commitment and the badge of commitment. The city creates the profile. You can, if you already define the target, you have the target badge, and you need to define your baseline, you know, for your targets, no? Because you cannot define a target without a baseline. And of course, you need to provide and submit documentation, which includes the inventory, ideally in an Excel file for us to let us know how it has been developed. And of course, and the action plan in PDF format, the hazards reporting, and the vulnerability assessment on PDF format. Like I mentioned before, all of this could be included in one single document, but you need to let us know how to navigate through the document and to identify the key points, no? Regarding the announcement towards the COP21, of course, there have been several events, but we have been mentioned in the Compact of Mayors, promoting the Compact of Mayors, and to let the attendants know the importance of the Compact of Mayors. No? As you can see here, it's a really important point in the timeline, which is the aggregation of Compact of Mayors data in the Carbon Climate Registry in October. Of course, in September, the platform closed for reporting, and in December, we will make the announcement of the Compact of Mayors at COP21 in Paris. Regarding the resources for cities, of course, the Compact support provides the Compact Secretariat, the website, measurement and planning tools like I showed before, and of course, all of them are available on the website. You will have training and tools via the city networks. This include ICLEI and C40, which includes training materials and guidance documents covering GPC inventories, climate action planning, risk assessment, etc. Now, I will show you the Compact of Mayors website, where we can find all of the resources available for you. The Compact of Mayors have organized the resources per phase or per stage. As you can see here, on the phase 1, the register commitment, you have the template for the letter of commitment, and you have the full guide of compliance for the Compact of Mayors. For registering, of course, you have the links for carbon and CDP. You have the compliance requirement, and of course you have this very important tool, which is the CCR offline reporting sheet in Excel form. What is this tool? You will use this tool to provide data when you don't have Wi-Fi available in your region or in your area. No. Here we can see that we have the same information that we had on the website version. Of course, we have several tabs here. For instance, README, instructions, FAQs, registration, which exactly the same information that you will provide on the online platform. Of course, once you give back this offline reporting sheet in Excel with all of the data that you are required to, of course, we will do an extraction and we will populate your city profile. No? As you know, here is really easy to follow. You have mandatory fields in every tab. We will let you know which tab you need to fulfill. The mandatory fields are indicated with an asterisk, as you can see here, and you have some cells have information where you can check. No. Now let's assume this. You want to register, but you don't have internet. You can go to one office or to one region that has internet, download this offline reporting sheet and fill it up at your office. No, there's no need for internet to fill up this page. No, once you fill it up, you just complete it and you can send it back to us through our email for carbonn. No, like you can see here, carbonn@iclei.org. Of course, ICLEI has developed a training program for Compact of Mayors. We have included mitigation and adaptation here. We have several training and tools that can be useful for you if you want to become full compliant for the Compact of Mayors, or you are planning to be committed to the Compact of Mayors, but within the 3 years period you want to complete your whole process. No? Of course, for mitigation, we have the Green Climate Cities program. We have, of course, the GPC, which is the reporting framework and requirements. We will provide trainings on how to properly register to the CCR. And there are available trainings for Clear Path. And of course, the Solutions Gateway, which is guidance for local governments with solutions and some initial steps to develop projects, of course. And on adaptation, we have the ICLEI regional tools and guidance that you can access through our website and our regional offices as well. No? Now, for Compact reporting, of course, the CCR is the designated central repository for the Compact of Mayors. Of course, it's used as a tool to report initiatives, some of them included in the UNFCCC, and will enable aggregation of local climate commitments and data. So once you are reporting to the CCR, you can be fully confident that the information will be used in the most responsible and efficient way to provide a platform for your city to be recognized. So in this case, you will have 2 city profiles, one on the CCR and one city profile for the Compact of Mayors. A brief summary here. If you are already reporting on CDP or the Carbon Climate Registry, you can commit directly. There's no need for you to do something else. You just can go to your city profile and you can look on the data and edit your profile, and you can just tick the small box that let us know that you want to commit to the Compact of Mayors. If you committed already and you have not started to report, then you should start reporting either on CDP or on Carbon Climate Registry. If you are already committed and reporting, the most important suggestion from me to you is to update your city profile with the most recent documentation for us to do a desk review and to validate how high is the quality of the documentation that you have provided, how relevant, and if you actually deserve to earn one of the badges of the Compact of Mayors for you to display them on your city profile, city documentations on your city website, or to simply make a press release or a press statement to communicate your efforts. No? I think we have reached the time for the presentation. I would like now to open the webinar for question and answers. So please, if you have any question, let us know.
So we have no questions that have been posed. I propose that maybe we just unmute our audience and just see if anyone wants to give us a comment or start a discussion with us. I can see Jessica with us. She's a colleague. Jessica, do you want to comment on the presentation?
No?
No, she doesn't seem to be on. We also have John Kefenius with us from the Conventory government. John, do you have any questions to us?
Next question is about
Also not. And finally, we have Kai Bruns with us. I don't know which organization you come from. Would you like to pose us a question, Kai?
No, I'm fine. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. So if nobody has any question, if you happen to have any inquiry later on, or you come with some inquiry for us, just let us know. You can write me at my email, cesar.carreño@iclei.org. I will be happy to reply and help you with whatever information you might need to take further steps regarding the Compact of Mayors commitment. Thank you very much for attending. I hope this was a very informative and useful webinar for you. We will be happy to see you commit to the Compact of Mayors, and we will be here to support you.